Hello, everyone. Welcome to the book review session with Teach Edge. In this session, we are going to review one of the important books of the century, which is Why Nations Fail by Daron Acemoglu and James Robinson. The book Why Nations Fail is a profound exploration of the underlying causes of wealth disparity between nations. Authored by Acemoglu, an economist, and Robinson, a political scientist, the book challenges conventional explanations for national prosperity, such as geography, culture, or ignorance, and instead argues that political and economic institutions play a pivotal role. Main argument. The central thesis of Why Nations Fail is that the prosperity or poverty of nations can be attributed to the inclusivity or exclusivity of their political and economic institutions. The authors introduce two primary categories: inclusive institutions and extractive institutions. Inclusive institutions are systems that encourage broad participation in economic and political life, allowing individuals to make choices and innovate freely. Inclusive institutions provide property rights, a level playing field, and political pluralism, fostering long-term economic growth. Extractive institutions, these are systems designed to concentrate power and wealth in the hands of a few, often leading to corruption, monopolies, and repression. Extractive institutions discourage innovation, exploit resources for the benefit of a ruling elite, and ultimately inhibit growth. The authors emphasize that nations fail when their institutions are extractive, perpetuating a vicious cycle of poverty, weak governance, and underdevelopment. Key concepts and arguments. One of the key concepts in the booking is political power and economic success. Acemoglu and Robinson demonstrate through historical examples how nations with inclusive political institutions like democratic accountability and the rule of law tend to develop inclusive economic institutions. These lead to greater innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustained economic success. The second concept is the role of elites. In societies with extractive institutions, elites often resist the adoption of inclusive reforms because they threaten their hold on power. The book describes the iron law of oligarchy, where those in power, even in seemingly progressive societies, tend to act in ways that consolidate their control rather than empower the broader population. Another main concept is critical junctures. The authors highlight the importance of key moments in history, termed critical junctures, where institutional changes can take place. For instance, the Industrial Revolution fostered inclusive growth in some countries but failed in others due to entrenched extractive systems. Another concept is the virtuous cycle. Inclusive institutions tend to be self-reinforcing. Once established, they promote greater political participation, stronger property rights, and rule of law, which further reinforces economic development. Also, the book draws from historical cases such as the Glorious Revolution in England, the colonization of the Americas, and the rise and fall of empires like the Ottoman and Soviet Union to illustrate how institutional differences shape their respective destinies. Summing up, the book Why Nations Fail concludes that there is no simple one-size-fits-all solution to the question of why some nations succeed while others fail. The authors reject deterministic views and argue that countries are not doomed to poverty based on geography, resources, or culture. Instead, the quality of their institutions shaped by historical processes and political struggle determines their economic trajectory. Nations can break free of extractive institutions by fostering inclusive political and economic systems, but this requires overcoming entrenched elites and seizing critical junctures for reform. In application to Pakistan's development challenge, Pakistan's struggles with development can be largely understood through the lens of extractive institutions. Political instability, corruption, weak rule of law, and unequal access to economic opportunities have hindered inclusive growth. To use the lessons from Why Nations Fail in Pakistan. Pakistan needs to move towards genuine political inclusivity by empowering institutions like the judiciary and election commission to function independently. This would help dismantle elite capture of power. Also, inclusive economic reforms are essential to level the playing field for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Reforms that ensure property rights, encourage innovation, and provide equal access to opportunities are critical for long-term prosperity. And more importantly, investing in education and creating opportunities for technological innovation can help build a more inclusive economy. A merit-based system free of corruption would encourage talent to rise and contribute to economic growth. And a more inclusive political structure that distributes power away from entrenched elites is crucial for institutional reform. This requires sustained political will and pressure from civil society for greater transparency and accountability. In conclusion, Why Nations Fail offers valuable insights into the role of institutions in shaping the success or failure of nations. For Pakistan, the path to sustainable development lies in fostering inclusivity in both its political and economic systems, ensuring that opportunity is available to all its citizens, not just the elite. This is all for this session. Hope you like it, and we'll come up with another book soon. Kindly comment and give your feedback. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Take care.